Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Thursday morning? Hope everyone is doing great. I myself am doing well. Been up since about 4 a.m. Good morning, Mr. Ed Durbin, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid, Mr. Pete, Mr. TC. Hope you gentlemen are doing good. So, in my pocket yesterday, when I went down to the beach, I had this one in my pocket. The Kamano. This one makes a great noise. Good morning, Mr. Yep, it's birthday eve, Mr. Pete. Yeah, this one makes a great noise. But I carried it with me when I went to the beach in case I had to shank somebody down at water's edge. No, I don't know. It's always good to have some kind of protection on you other than my kung fu fighting. And then during the night, last night, I had my Devo Buzz. In my front pocket, another great knife. And then in my back pocket, I had my knife that reminds me of that one a little bit, and that is the Tempest Knives Downdraft. Another great little knife. So these are the ones I got in my pocket this morning, or since 4 a.m. So yeah. And then Mr. Pete sent us a link to check out a very reasonably priced knife. And that is this knife right here, the Yakuza. I like the way it looks. I like the looks of it a lot. And I like the fact that they, on the stonewash version, it looks like they did a polished stonewash, or at least that's what it looks like to me. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the lighting. Yeah, it actually looks like pretty dark on the... I think it's probably just the lighting. But yeah, I like both versions. They do have a couple of more versions. I guess that is blue. Yeah, blue and carbon fiber, and 119 bucks seems like a good deal. And there's the blue with stonewash. Yeah, you can see the stonewash a little better in that picture than in the other one. Morning, Michael. Morning, Tommy. Morning, Clint. Hope you gentlemen are doing well this morning. If y'all don't all mind smashing that thumbs up button, that'd be awesome. Best birthday gift ever. So, during the night, or this morning, 4 a.m., I started getting stuff together to work on this knife here, this one. And yesterday I realized I needed a couple of parts, so I went to Lowe's and got a few bolts and washers and nuts, and you will see why we need those a little later. And then I decided that we're also going to be working on this mini Quantum to get that, to get the lock bar rounded out and fixed. And this one is very weirdly constructed. So wanted to show you all the inside of this knife. Let me zoom up a little bit here so we got a little bit better view of it. Let's see. So this has an internal liner here with the backspacer attached to it. It's and then this attaches to the far side of the knife over here on this side with a screw that goes right down through here to attach it to the other side of the knife, but yet the liner sits over here on this side of the knife and right there, and it fits in a little groove there, and this is how you access the lock bar area, but yet it attaches not to this side but over here to this side. So that is a different kind of layout. You can see it accesses the back of the blade here to stop it, lock it up. It does have a couple of pins that go in these two holes to locate this piece when you attach it, but one screw goes through right there to attach it to the far side, and then there's this little spot right there that drops into that hole on the other side. So totally weird, kind of built backwards, but it works. So, but it also has a weird thing with the clip. So as you see here on the clip, it has, so this is the part, okay, let me see if I can get this, let me show you here. So this goes into here and drops into place right there. And then there is a place right here that has a little, it's got a wide area. Well, the clip has a screw and a little pivot and a washer. It's got these little parts, and this little pin that's on the back of the clip here fits into this slot right here, and it rotates. So that's how it rotates out of place, but it can only go so far. And it's got a little it's got an arrow on the clip that shows you that you can push it up. So you can push it up, and it's got a little detent ball that interfaces with the back of the clip here. It's got a little detent ball hole. I don't know if you can see that. And a little piece of Teflon or something so it slides. But you can rotate this clip to get it in and out of your pocket easier, supposedly. And the way it keeps it from rotating too far is from this locating pin here. It slides back and forth in that hole. So yeah, and this has got a washer that sits down here underneath the clip, and it's got a little pivot barrel, or standoff that goes around that screw there that lets it rotate when you tighten it down. So that's a pretty cool little clip thing going on there. And the fact that this attaches to the far side of the scales is kind of weird. But they got the tolerances good, because that little pocket goes into that piece very nicely when you assemble it. But what we're going to do to this piece is we're going to finish rounding off where I started taking out material here, and I made it shaped like the blade hole, kind of angled it up there and curved it up. We're going to round all this out and smooth it out and make it look good. It's made so that it comes in and out of thicker and thinner pants easier when you rotate the clip. That's what they say. I don't know. It's just a feature. Not really sure if it serves any purpose. I couldn't tell, but it takes it to where, so when you rotate it, it goes from sitting up on this ball and being tight against the scales, and the way this is angled down, the way this little flat part is angled down, when you move it over, it gives you more room between the clip and the scales to get your pants in and out. And then when you get it in there, you shift it back and lock it in place. So it's slanted down on that flat part to give you more area between the bottom of the clip and the scale for thicker pants. But this is the star of the show today. Not the star of the show, but what we're going to be working on mainly. So let me get backed out again here. And let's see. Move it down. All right, that's about as far out as we can go. Right over here to the side, I do have the little sander. I've got a fan over here, over there, pointing this way. And there's just tile floor behind me over here. So any of the dust that does come off of this will land here and down here on the tile floor where I can clean it up easily. So that's that. But first of all, we need to, let me go grab my other two wrenches. Hold on just a second. I had to think about what I was bringing with me on the trip so that I would have everything. So of course I've got my Weehaw and I've got my other ones here. But I want to make sure that these are good and tight. So I will take my silver one on one side, my other one on the other side, and make sure those are good and tightened up. They are. That one is. And whoops. Now that one is. Both of those are good and tight. And so now we need to get the scales even with the metal everywhere. I've got it pretty close, so it won't take us very long. The biggest part is down here at this corner. I left it pointy. So we will start there. And I'm just gonna leave it on a slow setting. And it is definitely blowing the dust where I wanted it to. It's actually coming out the back of it. I'm going to move it this way just a little bit. Hopefully y'all will be able to see. It's not 6 in the morning, it is 8 in the morning. And I'm not in a hotel. I'm in a condo. And there's not many other people here. And I'm not grinding a knife, I'm grinding scales. So just about everything you said was wrong there, but Tommy, I got you, buddy. And it looks like we made it all the way to the metal right there, which is no good. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, but we need to be more careful when I get to the actual edge. It's not very loud. Might sound like it, but Anyway, let me turn up the speed on this thing a little bit. Let me turn up the speed so we can get this done a little quicker. But you can see the dust accumulating. I'm gonna go up to about the middle. Not gonna go up all the way, but the dust is accumulating down here and it's blowing back the way I wanted it to, so. That's a good question, mister. I haven't thought of that. I might. Depends on how the weight feels. Depends on how the weight feels when I get done and how the balance feels. I'm going to move around to this side. All right, I can still feel a spot everywhere. Let's work on this back. All right, we're getting there. I'm sure y'all are bored out of your minds already, but we're making progress. I need to try to get some of the thicker areas. Luckily, there's a vacuum here in this unit, so I should be able to vacuum it up pretty easy. There's dust on the floor. And like I said, it's just a tile floor. The only bad part is I did not bring a spare belt. So we're gonna have to work with this belt, even if it would come off quicker with a new belt. We're almost there. We're getting there. What are y'all getting into today? TC posted some good knives on the Discord. We'll go look at those in a second. I'll take a break from this in a minute. So y'all don't go nuts. I'm sure cleaning out this belt, wiping it off and getting that, we're getting closer though. Let me move this back a little bit. I do not have a respirator on. I should. It's blowing all the dust past me. Where I'm sitting is actually, it's blowing all the dust that way, away from me. So it's not coming up in my face. It's actually going away from me. That's why I put the fan over there. I'm not breathing any of it in. I don't know if you can see it blowing it that way, but it definitely is. I need to get like a little towel. Well, man, I wish I had another belt. I forgot to bring extra ones. Yeah, there's somebody out on the balcony, a girl. She's not over here breathing this in, that's for sure. This is taking longer than I expected. Let's do the choil. All right, choil is getting very close to being even. Yeah, it's definitely not blowing up in my lungs. It's blowing far away from me. Getting close most everywhere. Well, I sure am glad I got this. I sure am glad I got this as close as I got it, because it would have taken forever if I wouldn't have pre-worked a little bit of it. We're real close everywhere. I'm gonna keep going until I see it hitting metal. I'm putting a lot of torque on this belt. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I'm surprised it hasn't stopped. let's see, we are close just about everywhere. Still got a little bit of an edge, a few places, right in the back there. All right, I'm hitting metal there. You can see it getting shiny. Still a little bit of an edge back here. Starting to hit metal up here. All right, we're getting close, guys. I know this is riveting to watch. We'll take a break and look at some knives here in just a second. All right, we're gonna take a break here. All right. The back is looking like we're almost touching metal everywhere. It feels really good. There's a little spot right there, but everywhere else is flush. So we will take a break for a minute, look at some knives so y'all don't go nuts. My mouse is covered in dust. Everything to the right of me is covered in dust, including my kimono, which I will move now because it is covered in dust. I will take it apart and clean it good. It's not bad. It didn't get too much on it. But this little white dust is very, very fine. And use a respirator if you're going to be not having a very strong fan pointed right at you. Yeah, I don't know. There's no dust anywhere close to where it's going way all past me here. I'm over here on this side of it, and I'm definitely not breathing any of it in. Michael, yeah, no. There's nobody on either side of me, and it's not very loud. Still need to do some work on the bottom here. Let's go check out the Discord and see what people have posted in there this morning. Let's see. Mr. TC posted a few pictures. Louis posted a bunch of the ones he got over the weekend. We saw a bunch of those in an earlier post. Mr. Ed posted a video of his non-guillotine Satori yesterday. I'm joking. It wants to drop very quickly, sorry. Let's see. Bone Collector posted, I believe this was the one he got made from that guy he showed a video of. Then TC posted a link to where there's a Dixon on sale on Knife Swap for $475. So they are definitely getting down to close to where I said I wanted them to get before I would buy one. This one is at $475, this black handled one. Right here. So they are coming down in price. So that's super cool to see. That one's been black anodized. Let's see what else is going on the Discord. Right after the stream yesterday, I talked about how I wanted a titanium Pero. One of the carbon fiber ones got posted for 65 bucks. Another synchronicity event, not the one I wanted, but same knife I was talking about. Within 5 minutes of getting off the stream, it popped up. Let's see, knife picks. Yeah, TC posted his sugar maple jack with the purple crystallized tie. TC thought these two knives looked very similar, which they do, but lots of knives do nowadays. I'm not sure that Kaiser copied Artisan or they both just made knives similar, but nonetheless, they do look quite a lot alike. Kaiser on the top there and an Artisan on the bottom. A little bit harder lines on the Artisan. Some sharp angles on the bottom of the handle there, sharper angles at the top of the blade. Handles on the Kaiser more rounded out. But yeah, very similar knives. That happens quite often in the knife world. Let's see, anything else going on? No. Let's see. There was me out in the ocean yesterday. Man, it felt good. Get in the hot tub and the pool, just relax. Oh, sorry. I wasn't. I had just switched from the browser. Man, Discord is the one flaw with OBS. Yeah, I knew I would do that. There's the Kaiser and the Artisan again. The Artisan has some harder lines. The Kaiser rounded off. Very similar knives though. Like I said, sunset. And then here's me in the ocean yesterday. Like I said, very comfortable. Get in the hot tub. Sorry, Sever7, man. Discord always throws me off when I click a link. If I'm in Discord and I click a link, it opens in Firefox, so I have to switch over to Firefox and vice versa. If I go back to Discord, I have to... Anyway. Yeah, what's up, Mr. Ketuo? What's up with the price? Can you get a deal on these Yakuzas? I mean, that's already a good price, the $119. Yeah, I really liked these OBJ1 frame locks from Ranger Made. Reminds me a lot of the Skiff Made blades. I think that's a very fair price, $475 for those. Yeah, I like all these actually. I didn't fix my cup of coffee this morning that I normally have to help my voice as I talk, but that Ranger Made is nice though. That Yakuza is nice too. Let me see here. Let me play a little bit of a, see if we can watch some kind of,
One of the coolest fixed blades from Civivi this year, the Kyle Lamb Soken. Pinky Quillian right here helps you snag the blade out of the sheath, but
watch her for just a second while I fix me a cup of coffee.
It's removable, but what that allows you to do is also carry this blade inside your pocket.
Get one
and
started
notice
at
the little
least.
detail on the sheath. That snags onto the pant seam and keeps that sheath inside the pocket. This knife is loaded with lashing screws that you can put paracord through. Functional blade shape, drop point, jimping right here, Nitro V blade steel. $89 with code M15. Super comfortable in the hand and comes with the Kydex sheath. I'll put more specs and details below. Or one of the coolest fixed blades from Civivi this year, the Kyle Lamb Soken. Pinky Quillian.
Come over here and I'll fix my coffee pod while we're watching something else. Let's see. What is this runestone knot? What is this, Ed? You know this knot, Ed? Probably get a copyright strike for that beat. Love that. Love having to go back and delete those afterwards. All right, my coffee is now brewing. What is he doing with this knot here? What does it turn into? Some big giant. Aha. That's a pretty cool little knot. Yeah, definitely you're not, your voice starts to fade after talking a little while. Let me turn up this fan one more notch so that it's blowing stuff really heavily away from me. There we go. Yeah, I'm hold on, let me trying to fill the air. Yeah, it's gonna blow it good away from me. I'm gonna finish up the back side of this. This is all good. I mean this side real quick. I'm also kind of holding my breath when I go in for a good push on this. Y'all think of something else for us to look at here in just a second after I finish this side. All right, I'm definitely hitting the corner of the knife, so I'm going to be careful back there. We're getting close everywhere. Real close. All right. PD Sabenza 31 with engraving. Oh, that knot looks like a pain in the ass. Yeah, it did look like a pain in the ass. All right, we're almost done, guys, with the outside of it. That feels good everywhere. Smooth everywhere. One little place back here. Alright, I think we're good. Let's get the choil a little bit bigger. Alright, I think we are good all the way around the edge of this thing. We are flush everywhere, including the back, including the choil. So, now we can look at something else y'all want to look at for a minute, and then take it apart and start curving the front of it. So what I wanted to do, and the reason I had to buy those little bolts, is because these Corby bolts or Corby screws are set at a certain width, and when I take the scales off the knife, I'm unable to tighten them down because of the size of those Corby bolts. So I bought some little 4mm, went to Lowe's and got some 4mm just regular bolts and nuts, so that when I take this apart here like we're about to do, I can set the blade to the side, take these, and take the new little nuts and bolts that I bought. I bought some washers too, so it wouldn't push in on the sides of these scales. And we can tighten them together so that they will be locked together all the way, like so. Let me move this back so I can get in frame better. But now I can tighten these together, and anything I do to one of them will be done to the other one if I match them up correctly, or try to look at them with an even eye. Let me get these tightened up here with my little miniature vice grips. All right, that's good and tight on that one. That's good and tight on that one. So now they're locked together, and then as I round out the front here, I should be able to look at it and see that we're rounding both sides evenly. So I wanted to start working on the area that goes down to the blade and get it a little rounded off. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do is round off this edge where it's going to meet the scales, and I'm going to try to maintain, you know, some symmetry. I might need to get some shorter bolts when I get home. because the bolt's about to hit the sander. Right now, I'm getting them. I'm keeping them pretty even. Not bad on my curve there. Symmetry is very important, but since I have them clamped together now, I can kind of see when one of them is off. Wow, I'm surprised at how close I'm keeping them. Trying to keep these lines about the same distance in. They're getting rounded off nicely. They're still pretty thick. I don't know if I should do this with a plane, like a file when I get home, like around these edges. I want to round out all the edges everywhere else, you know. I don't think I'm going to start on that today. I think we're just going to work on this end where it meets the blade a little bit longer. And all right, I'm pretty happy with what I got so far. It's pretty symmetrical, but like I said, I want to put an edge, I got to curve around the edges and make them all curve together. I think I need to get some proper sized bolts that just barely go through and tighten up so that I can round out the edges like this. Because these bolts are going to hit when I tilt it up this way, they're going to hit. Yeah, I need to clean out this. You're right, I do need to get a bristle brush to clean out the dust, but everything is meeting up nicely. I'm pretty happy with how I've got this so far. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that symmetry so far. It doesn't look too far off. Both sides, actually. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, so I think we're going to wait till we get back home. I mean, this V is even meeting up nicely. I don't know if y'all can see that V, but that's even meeting up pretty evenly. I've done a pretty good job so far of getting those even. But I need to get some proper bolts that just barely go through and connect. And I'm actually thinking what I need to do is take 2 of these extra Corby bolts that I have that go down in flush with the scales, and I need to sand them down to where they will tighten up without the blade in there. And then these will sit flush, and I can work on the scales completely. Because like I said right here, these that's what I need to do. I bought 10 of them, so I've got some extras. So what I will do is I will sand some of the Corby bolts down. I didn't bring them with me, or I would do that now. But since I made the holes where they can recess down in there, what I'll do is I'll make 2 Corby bolts that will actually fit just with the scales without the blade in them. And then I will be able to totally roll around the scales. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I will make 2 of these Corby bolts. Since they set flush, I countersunk them and they sit flush with the scales. I will make 2 of these that are the right length to where I can screw them together, and they will both sit down in the countersunk holes. Like right now, they're taking up the blade width, so I can't tighten them down, but I can take 2 of the other ones and shorten them down to where they'll tighten up and sit down in those countersunk holes. So that sounds like the best scenario, because then I would even be able to hit the fronts of these and thin them out some if I needed to. But right now, let's see what it looks like back on the blade. Look at my pile of dust. Let's see what they look like back on the blade here. Get my two Corby bolts, Corby screws, sorry. All right, those are both flush on that side. Getting dust all in these threads, but oh well, I've got extras. So see, yeah, if I could get 2 of these Corby bolts set to where they, where's the other one? There it is. Where I could tighten them up down in these holes, down in these countersunk holes with the blade out, just the 2 pieces of scales together. To see, they set flush with the scales on both sides. Then I could just, so yeah, we're starting to get, so I need to make a lot more of a transition. I don't have much going on yet. I need to smooth that out, but the knife feels good. I think I might want to put a finger groove in there too. Choil feels really good. I think I might go a little deeper with it also. But right now, it's feeling good. As you can see, both sides of that look pretty symmetrical where it's touching, where it's meeting the blade there. But I'm gonna angle them more and make it a gentle slope down instead of such a harsh curve. But I couldn't do that because the bolts were sticking out and I couldn't get it laid up against there. And I could do some with it on the blade, I guess. But I'd rather have them tightened up against each other. I kind of need to see them in the blade anyway. I could do them a little bit like this. Let me see. Let me do just a... Yeah, I can't get all the way to the end because of the blade. Yeah, I think the key is going to be, yeah, that's looking better though. I'm going to have a gentle transition down to the blade. Yeah, the key is to get those two shorter Corby bolts to where I can put these two together and work on them, because the blade won't allow me to get all the way to that end the way I need to. But I'm happy with where we got today. I don't want to bore y'all with all this grinding. This is kind of silly. We'll go look at some more knives here in a second. Anything y'all want to talk about? But at least we know we're working through problems and steps and figuring out what you need to do to make it happen. So I'm happy about all that. Like I said, I've never done any of this before, so this is all new to me. So I have not thought of all the things that you have to go through to make. It's all just a learning experience for us. But symmetrically, I'm happy with where we're getting. Need to slant that down some more, get some little finger, get the edges rounded off. But it's meeting up with the blade everywhere good. I do want to make the choil just a little bigger, a little deeper, because I think it would fit other people's hands a little better. Fits mine good, but it's a little too wide right now. So I might take it down just a little bit down here at the bottom. But yeah, I think we're looking good so far. All right, so I've got dust everywhere, but that is all right. Let's, oh yeah, one more thing I got to do on this stream is fix this. I've got my little vise, I brought it with me. We will throw it in the middle of the screen here. And I will clamp this in ever so gently. And whoops, let me move that where y'all can see it better. I got that clamped in just gently. And then behind me over here, I happen to have my Dremel. And we're going to try to round out this thing a little better. Oh yeah. That's exactly what we needed. Turn it up just a little bit. Wow, that's looking way better than it did. This thing is super quiet compared to that grinder. Yeah, that's looking good now. Wow, that looks so much better. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm getting it very nice and rounded out. Just make sure if you're doing this to your mini quantum that you don't ever touch this side, because that's where it interfaces with the lock on the knife, and you will give it lock rock if you hit that. All right, that's almost done. That about looks perfect. Let me make sure this other side, the inside, looks good. Yes, I am super happy with that. So I hope y'all can see that it is perfectly rounded out now and smooth. No harsh edges. Inside looks good, and this curve matches the blade perfectly. And I never touched this place right here because that's where it interfaces with the lock. And then there's the detent ball. So yes, I'm very happy with that. Very good, very good. All right, got that done. So now we can reassemble that knife real quick before we go look at anything else, and I'll show y'all the weird functions of this knife. You can see the stuff stops very abruptly here because of that fan. So that fan kept it from coming over to me and my computer, and so that was a good idea with the fan, but it did get some back here on this knife. So let me take it apart and kind of wipe it off a little bit. Where did that towel go? I had a little towel. There it is on the floor. Sorry. So I'm just going to get the dust out of this. All right, so we got this side cleaned up. I had this side flipped over, so it should be good. There's that side. Let's put the pivot back in. Put the bearing back in. And then this is the side that the backspacer piece attaches to. So let me show you this here. Let me zoom in a little bit in just a second. This knife does have a couple of weird functions. I mean, weird. Let me get over here where you can see. All right, that looks better. So this sits down on the other side. Like I said, it attaches to the other side of the frame. And then there is 2 pins. One big one. It goes back there. And one little one. It goes right there. And then there's a screw with that proprietary crazy green thorn head on it, but I do have the tool here. So let me get this one screwed in. Come on, all right, there, we're in there. And I got my little thing to stick through it so I can get some leverage. All right, so that is tight, and that is how the liner attaches to the far side of the knife. Then we'll put the blade on and the stop pin. All right, and it needs to sit on this side because it comes out this way. So I will do that. Then we'll put the bearing back on. I don't have any oil right here with me, but that's all right. Let me wipe off this clip here. It's got a little dust on it. There's the clip with the locating pin, and there's the screw for the clip and the little washer for the clip. So let me show you how all this goes together. So you pop this side on like so. You take the pivot screw, which also has that weird shape on it, and the other side is the big side for it. Let's see, how does it go? It goes like that. All right. That's as tight as I can get it at the moment. So this clip, it's got this pin that I said drops in this back little slot. The easiest way to assemble this is so it's got a little pivot right here, that goes through the clip, a little collar, and then you set this washer right there. Hope y'all can see that. The washer goes around all that. And the easiest way I've found to get it on there is to turn the knife upside down and align everything so that that little washer doesn't fall out. Then flip it back over and use the tool to get it tight, or get it started tight. All right, let me get my little tightening tool here. I hate these little specialized. All right, there we go. So when the clip is in this position, you can push it and it snaps back onto that detent ball with the detent hole that's underneath on the bottom side of the clip, and it will only move. It feels like a spring, and it really is, because this locating pin that dropped down in there, it's actually interfacing with this liner. There's a hole in that liner, so it kind of feels like a spring. But when you do it like this, that gives you more room under the clip to get your pants on, and then you pull it back and it locks into place. So somebody was asking if it was gimmicky, but now that is all cleaned up perfect, and it matches the blade hole very good. I don't know if you can see, but the line on it curves down and matches that cutout of the blade. So now you can reverse flick it easier. It's still not the greatest to reverse flick, and I'm sure I'll get better at it, but it does, whoops, sorry. It will actually work now because of getting that out of the way. But before, it's stuck up way back behind there. You couldn't even get your finger in there. You couldn't even begin to. So taking it down like that, and I got that all smooth and looks good. That was another little cool add-on mod today. I thought since we would be doing one mod, we might as well do them both. So yeah, that turned out good. All right, let me zoom back out. My mess. Yeah, so that worked out good. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that line follows really good with that blade hole. And it's still awkward to reverse flick, but at least you can. And it'll come easier with time. Morning, Nick. Oh man, I made my coffee a long time ago and never even grabbed it. Y'all give me just a second. I'm gonna heat it up in the microwave. Y'all think of something else we can talk about for a few minutes? Let me get my creamer and sugar put in my cup, and at least there's a kitchen right here. I don't have to walk far, y'all can still hear me. Alright, it should be hot enough for my coffee. Yes, I need a little bit of coffee. My voice, I've told y'all, you don't realize how much talking for long extended periods of time affects your voice. I couldn't imagine a keynote speaker or somebody that did that for a living. You would have to get vocal coaching from a musician, from a vocal coach, and learn how to. All right. So what are y'all talking about getting? A French press, an espresso machine? Asgard's tomorrow? Oh yeah, that's my birthday tomorrow, Nick. So I'm supposed to buy one of those too. Yeah, tea with honey is great for that also, huh? So yeah, the knife in question that we're talking about, for those of you who do not know, is this knife right here, which is a beaut. Oh, thank you, Nick. Yeah, I think this is a sign that I'm supposed to get this knife since it comes out on my birthday. Man, you can really see where that fan really helped keep that dust away from my where I was. Let me just show you a top-down view here of what was going on this morning. Let's see, share to the Discord. Stuff for channel. Send. Yeah, so check out this clear delineation line of where the fan stops stuff. So I have my laptop over here to the side running everything. A couple of the knives I'm carrying today, and my head is over that leg that you see there. So my face was right in front of that this bare spot. But it kept all the dust going that way by blowing the fan. And it did get over, but there's a tile floor down there, so I'll just sweep that up and vacuum it up. And it'll be good. Have you heard one? I guess you have. Let's go see if anybody's got a video of one. You got one early. Whoops. August 13th. Huh. Is it on his Instagram, I'm guessing? Well, I'm not logged in. Let me put this on for a second, get logged in. I was afraid it might show some info, but it looks like it's not. All right, we're back. See if we can hear some audio of it. Oh yeah, that was Metal Complex, huh? You can't hear it. You can't hear it. All you hear is music. Which sucks. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. That's got some echo to it. What time does that drop tomorrow, Nick? Does it say what time? Does anybody know what time NC Blade usually drops stuff? That would be a great first integral for people to get. That's for sure. If you don't have an integral, that would be the one. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, that thing is a beaut. Where's the newsletter? How do I sign up for the newsletter? Oh, the NC email me when available. Is that what you're talking about, I guess? Why did that not give me a message? I guess it did. I'm gonna put Blade Alchemy in there too and get them both. All right then. I guess that's what you were talking about. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a beautiful knife. All right. What else are we going to talk about before I end this one up this morning? I'm happy with what I got done today. I didn't want to bore you all to death with the rounding off of this thing, but I did get it started. I did get a little more of the slant here added. And like I said, getting those two Corby screws the right length to where I can clamp them together to where they're flush without the blade in there. I've got more of those at home that I can sand down and make them to where I can tighten it up. Then I can get these scales rounded out and do all the curves this way and around the edges, you know. And then around this way, get the finger choil done, maybe put a bigger, I think I'm going to use the Dremel with the sanding drum that I just used. In fact, heck, I'm going to be ballsy and daring and know that I want some kind of little finger something in there. So we're just going to put one in. So I'll be forced to do it. That's all I'm going to do for now. I'm not going to do much. I'm not going to mess it up. But there you go. It's the beginning of a little place for my finger. And I think that'll work good, that Dremel sanding drum, to put that in. So we'll get it coming up this way, widened out. I mean, heck, I'm going to thin out these scales anyway, so I might not have even gone down. I could probably thin them out and take that out completely if I wanted to, but that's where it'll be anyway. A little bit of something there. So yeah, that'll be fun. We'll do that back when I get back home next week. But yeah, the fixed blade's coming along. I hope y'all are learning as much as I am about it and what to think about while you're doing it and what you need and the process and how to do it efficiently and correctly, and maybe we'll learn how to do it faster next time. Uh, 5 p.m. Eastern, Michael, 4 p.m. Central. I don't know. I'm going to be checking it all day, probably. Where did you see that that's where the time was, Michael? I mean, I trust you, but what brings you to that conclusion? Yeah, that feels good now. I might round off that edge. It's a little sharp right there. Oh, it's on Instagram? Thank you, Michael. Let's go back and check that out. Oh, it says 5 p.m. EST. Yep, on that same post I was on. 1 per household for the first hour to ensure everyone gets a crack at nabbing one. Limited run of only 100 numbered pieces. All right, nice. Who's the OEM? Riot, of course. Nice. North Carolina. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, my vacation is going awesome, man. Just getting away and not having to work and getting in the ocean, getting in the pool, and relaxing, sleeping when I want to. It's been nice. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wind this one down, get back to vacationing. If y'all don't mind hitting that thumbs up on your way out, that would be awesome. I'm going to go get a bunch of touristy stuff done today. About to take a ride up the coast and go get some souvenirs for my daughter, and got to keep the female happy today. So anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great Thursday. We'll be here again tomorrow morning. Now that I've got this knife to where I'm at now, I'm happy with it and don't feel so need to work on it without being on video, so that's always cool. But we'll get more done this coming Thursday. Should get the handles finished shaped. I've got new belts at home. That should help. So anyway, guys, hope y'all have a great one. If y'all need me, hit me up. If you haven't joined the Discord, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. And